All right, guys, let's move on to receivers here.
All
All
right.
right, so we're gonna start with chalk. Most expensive receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, is going to be projected to be one of the chalkiest receivers for good reason.
Yeah.
But only about 22 to 23%, so not too bad. Lockett, next chalkiest receiver. Amari Cooper at 21%, which is I'll just keep fading Amari Cooper, which is fine with me. Deontay Johnson, guy I really like, 18%. DK Metcalf, part of that big game. High projected total, 17%. And then N'Keal Harry, cheap wide receiver, 16%. That's a fade for me. Oof.
Yeah.
Any really low priced receiver, like I'm cool just fading them if they're going to be over 10%. Like I'll just go find somebody somewhere else, right? Gallup 15%, Julio 15%, Thielen 15%, Edelman 14%, Christian Kirk 13%, Allen Robinson 10%, which is I love to hear that. Mike Evans 12%, T.Y. Hilton with the grandma scolding narrative at 12%.
All in.
Yeah, dude,
All out.
like, dude, no,
Even the grandma
no.
knows he's trash now.
No.
So look, I'll start here. I'm definitely gonna play T.Y. Hilton. Like he's $5,600. I was playing him last year when he was 7,000, right? Again, the first 2 weeks of the season, like I think are still kind of an enigma, and I just don't know if we think we know everything right now, but we're not. We just don't, right?
Yeah.
Edelman is going to be another big play for me. He's going to run a ton out of the slot. The Raiders slot receivers are absolute trash. They just can't get it done. So, I like that. Tyler Boyd, again, is going to be one for me as well. I agree with Joey there. The best wide receiver matchup on the board this week, highest percentage, like everything across the board, is Keenan Allen. And I will be playing a ton of them because Herbert. Him and Herbert just have some sort of connection. And like I said, per the matchup tool on FTN Fantasy, which is not something that is like the gospel, right? But it's something that you can use to kind of delineate, where you're going to go and to break some ties. But he's got a matchup grade this week, very, very top of 91.5. The second best matchup of the week is DeAndre Hopkins at 73.9. So, like, by all metrics, like, again, Carolina's defense is absolute hot garbage. So those are going to be my guys. I'm going to play some Hopkins, like I mentioned earlier. He is some chalk that I'm going to be playing. And then some lower owned guys that I'm going to be going after. Adam Humphries running out of the slot.
My boy.
I like that play. Yeah, especially I like that play a lot more, especially if Jonnu Smith is not going to play.
He practiced today, by the way. He's back. So
John is playing, man.
Well, okay, maybe.
But even with Jonnu in, he still got his targets last week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Terry McLaurin is a guy that I'm just going to play every week. Dwayne Haskins, I know, Joey, he's your favorite player. But,
my most favorite. I'm going to buy a jersey soon.
I mean, I think you should. But, I mean, again, McLaurin had, over 20 points last week in a game that, against what everyone thinks is a good secondary. But, they're just part of their game plan is they're just going to take X amount of shots to McLaurin every week. And then I know you said you liked Robert Woods, Joey, but the guy I'm going after in that Rams game is Cooper Kupp. I know, it seems like they're just going to go to Woods a little bit more. But I just think that Kupp is a guy that's, a playmaker for them. I think they're going to watch – I think Sean McVay is going to watch the film after the first 2 weeks and go, man, like we just need to try and get this guy the ball more, right? He's a dynamic playmaker. And I think that the Rams are going to be down quite a bit. Like I think Buffalo is going to kick their ass this weekend. So I think they're going to be down. So I think that the game flow is going to go in their favor, that Goff's going to be throwing a lot.
So, and just real quick on that, I did hear something today Tre'Davious White is obviously one of the best corners in the league. He's going to take Robert Woods, and Buffalo's biggest liability is in the slot, from what it sounds like in the first couple weeks, and that's where Kupp plays. So,
but the biggest thing with the Rams, the only thing that never scares me with the cornerback matchups with the Rams is they just succeed on crossing patterns and getting guys open.
I get
it's
it.
not necessarily, Robert Woods is against Tre'Davious White and he's going to be running like hook patterns and stuff. It's like, he's running crossing patterns through zones, settling in. Yeah. That's the whole Rams offense. So the whole cornerback matchup doesn't scare me with the Rams.
Yeah, no doubt. I just like a few other guys. I mean, I'll get to my guys, but there's a few other guys I like right in that range that I think are just better plays for me. So I'm not going to play probably Kupp or Woods, but I get it. Like, I get a big time.
I feel like Woods is always kind of like he's my staple guy. You know what I mean? I feel like he always needs to kind of be in there.
But he gets the targets.
He gets the targets. Last week Higbee got the 3 touchdowns in the red zone. That's not happening this week. I'm fading Higbee. We'll get there. I think Woods is going to make a comeback this week. I mean, Woods got a rushing touchdown last week.
Yeah.
I think McVay is always just trying to get Woods the ball in any scenario he can, and I love that, especially in GPPs. And Woods always goes 6%, 7% owned. He's never a high owned guy.
For sure. That makes sense.
Another guy I'm really big on, we talked about it earlier, is Galladay. I think he's going to go low owned just because he's coming off of an injury. Arizona's defense is suspect. Even Patrick Peterson's not playing that well right now, and who knows, that could turn around this week. Hopkins is my chalk guy. I have him in 3 out of my 10 lineups so far. One of the guys I'm paying down for is Darius Slayton. I know the Niners defense is great, but I have a feeling Giants are going to be down, and who the hell else they're going to throw to but Slayton and Ingram. Yeah. And Danny Dimes is still going to huck and chuck, man, So, and Darius Slayton is always good for hitting one post route for like 70 yards and a touchdown. So
for sure.
Yeah.
I really like Slayton.
Yeah. No, I keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm paying down for Humphreys in a couple. I got Juju. I got Deontay Johnson and different lineups. And with the Herbert thing, Jim, I'm going more Mike Williams, paying all the way down to 4,300. I know he didn't get a lot of targets last week, but he's got that potential and he's not on any injury list finally. So those are my guys.
Okay. So, I mean, we're on a lot of the same. I mean, obviously I love Hopkins. I'll play him in every Kyler lineup, obviously, but I'm probably not going to play him outside of that, just from a price point. Ridley I like a lot. I think he's honestly right now like just humming at like kind of a matchup proof thing. Like Matt Ryan's just going to feed his ass the ball no matter where he is. As far as some other high-end guys, I do kind of like Juju. I think he's going to be a little sneaky if everyone's flocking to Deontay Johnson. Like he's still getting the big targets there, and he could erupt at any time, obviously.
Big time.
I like DK Metcalf. I like Edelman a lot. I don't think the Raiders are as bad as everyone thinks, but I think Edelman, until further notice, is still the best slot corner in the game or slot receiver in the game. And no one has shown that they can stop him. And when Cam has a guy he's locked in on, like that's going to be a 2-man game just going forward. So I love that.
I could see Cam literally throwing to Rex Burkhead and Julian Edelman every play.
Well, dude, I mean, Edelman had his most receiving yards in a game ever last night or on Monday night.
And Jimmy mentioned it earlier. The Raiders struggle covering running backs and they struggle covering slot receivers. If the Patriots didn't have this weird ass backfield they always have, I'd be targeting the running backs going against the Raiders every single week.
For sure.
So it wasn't just a Kamara thing last week. Like it's been happening for years. Gunther just gives up little dinks and dunks, and it goes for so many yards.
Yeah. So I love Edelman. Galladay, I need to kind of wait and see a few more days until see how he's gonna, if he's gonna play, if he's gonna be limited or whatnot. Love Allen Robinson. Part of the reason why I like Mitch so much. Keenan Allen's smash spot, obviously. I do, Jim, you said a name that I really like this week, Scary Terry. He's cheap, and dude, that guy's got such upside. Like the Redskins are going to be trailing in just about every game they play. The Browns
playing the Browns too.
Like, so Haskins knows he can just at any point just chuck it up, and I think McLaurin is legit. So with that, I'm on the fence with. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I'm just finishing off, I really like CeeDee Lamb. I just think he's the best receiver, honestly, of that bunch. I mean, he's the number one rookie receiver in every category right now. paying down Corey Davis, Humphreys, and I'm all over Gage for Atlanta. I think even if Julio plays, this is going to be a Julio game like he's been all year, where it's like runs 2 routes and limps off the field on 3rd down. Like, I'm not playing Julio. Just give me Gage. He's still, even with Julio, seeing huge target share. So I think that game shoots out, and if that's the case, I got to go with my gut and play Gage.
So a couple of real low price guys. I mean, we've all talked about some like more expensive guys and like how we're fitting them in. I'm playing a little bit of CeeDee Lamb at 5,400 to get some exposure to that big like total game. I'm also gonna play. You guys are gonna be like, who? KJ Hamler.
Oh, for Denver?
Yeah, he's
the speedster, man.
He is the dead man. He claims that he runs a 4.2. This is a guy that got hurt before the combine, hurt before his pro day, and slipped in the draft because of it. With no Cortland Sutton, like, this is a guy that, like, he could catch a slant and just go to the house. And at $3,000, that's all I need is one 50-yard reception. He doesn't even have to score. And, you know, that's 2x right there. So, I mean, he has, like, legitimate upside. It's a risk, right? But if he's going to burn me and get a 0, I'm paying the min. And it allows me to pay up elsewhere to know that, like, look, like, if I pay down for there, like, I can go get, you know, one of these, like, expensive running backs and play him with, like, an expensive wide receiver. And, you know, looking at the chalk report, I mean, KJ Hamler's going to be like 2 or 3% owned, right? Like,
okay, that makes me feel better because I've heard his name on 2 different shows this week, and people were just kind of like tossing it out there, and I was like,
he's
okay,
fast as shit, man.
Again, like we talked about last week, if every single show comes out and says like this guy's like 1% owned, like that guy ends up 20 by the end of the week, and I hear you. Like, I don't know why I'm so nervous to play a $3,000 player. Like, I get like. That could hit value with 2 plays. It's Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll missed like 2 touchdowns last week. They're just wide open.
I mean, look, I'm by no means like playing KJ Hamler like all over the place, right? No, but there are some guys down here at the min.
So I like Michael Pittman at 4,000.
Yep.
Michael Pittman got 6 targets last week after Paris Campbell went out. The only scary part about that game is they're up. But again, all it takes is 1 red zone touchdown, and that's what Michael Pittman does. You know, and at 4,000, all you're looking for is that one kind of big play, and he's going to be on the field every play.
So I don't think Rivers looks good at all.
Yeah, he's not looking good right now.
Which scares me.
That's what scares me away from all. That's what scares me around from Ty, dude. It's not Ty, it's Rivers. Rivers looks like shit.
No, for sure, and like I think. That very much, like I said earlier, why I love Taylor is like they could be up by 10 points and Rivers throws a pick and Frank Wright is just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not throwing the ball the rest of the game. The Jets are horrible. They won't beat us. Like, I'm running the ball 40 times. Like,
so the other dead men guy that I'm going to play in maybe 1 or 2 is Mohamed Sanu. New first game last week, but he did play 13 snaps, right, versus the Jets. He's had, you know, another week of practice. I mean, again, this is the Niners aren't rolling out anyone like sexy out here, right? So, like, if he's going to play, I mean, I'm going to play him in a lineup or 2 because for $3,000 against the Jets, and if Nick Mullins is playing, like, that's just going to be somewhere where I'm going to use to gain leverage to pay up at other positions.
Yeah, and one more flyer. And I have a little strategy to this. I might be overthinking it, but it's Bryan Edwards with the Raiders. He's not getting the targets, right? He had 1 catch in week 1, 2 catches on Monday night. He looked good. I just have a feeling Bill Belichick's going to say to the Raiders, if you're going to win, you're going to have to throw to the outside. It's not going to be to Waller, right? Yep. It's not going to be over the middle, and you're not fucking running the ball. I have a feeling between the hash marks, Bill Belichick is going to clamp the Raiders like a motherfucker and make Derek Carr actually throw outside, which sets up for Bryan Edwards. At 3,700, he might get a lot of targets. He might get some red zone targets. Again, I'm not rostering him in 30% of my lineups. He's like a one lineup kind of guy, GPP. But I feel like there's some upside there. I mean, he's on the field every play. He runs the most plays of any receiver on the Raiders.
But similar to like you were saying with the Ravens last week, like who's your guy that you like?
I didn't end up playing Boykin.
Yeah, I don't know.
He ended up getting like 9 points or something, but yeah,
but that's a different situation though, because like, you know, I think what Joe is saying has a lot of merit, right? Like Bill Belichick is not.
He's not gonna let Waller win the game.
100%.
No, he's gonna watch that film and be like, okay, like I'm gonna take away your security blanket. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not gonna let you throw it to this guy 15 times and let him have 13 catches. Like he's just not gonna let him do that. So I think Bryan Edwards, or even if you want to pay up a little bit more, if Ruggs is active.
He's playing he was full participant on Wednesday and he was limited today, but they're saying that was just to monitor him. So he's going to be full go on Sunday.
Okay. I mean, yeah, at how expensive
5,000.
5,000? Yeah.
He's a good pivot for a lot of guys. Like he's a good Slayton pivot. If Slayton goes super high on Sunday morning, I might pivot all my Slayton to Ruggs.
Here's why I'm not doing that. And it's just because Belichick is obviously like, if NFL coaches can't figure him out, like us three aren't either, but like history kind of just shows like what he probably will do is put Gilmore on Ruggs and double team Waller and just say,
but
go beat me with someone else.
But that's fine. I mean, we just saw, Gilmore and company didn't look great against Seattle.
No, Gilmore's scoring really low right now. His coverage grades are shit.
I hear it for sure. I mean, I think DK Metcalf is a little bit more proven than Ruggs. Like, obviously, sure. Again, guy can fly and everything, but I'm just saying, like, I look at the matchup and like I know he didn't really do anything last week. You mentioned Mohamed Sanu, like. I'll play a Brandon Ayuk for 4,100 versus the Giants. Like, at least I know no one's going to cover him. I don't know what's going to happen, but
yeah. And see, that's where I'm at with. That's what I just like about Edwards, man. Again, he's on the field every goddamn snap.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at on Edwards. He's got the highest run blocking grade, which isn't great for fantasy, but he's not coming off the field.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it gives him a lot of potential. And again, I think Belichick's going to say, if you want to win, you're going to have to go to that guy.
Totally.